back on my SAP business here, at least for today. I have not looked at this weekly at all. Let's at least make sure we have the weekly. We are indeed on the weekly. Okay. I see a magpie. I see a chinchilla. I see an egg. I see a marmoset. I have no problem with this so far. You ever gonna make another video on the password game? No, you would have to be an insane person, quite frankly. That'll be a running part. Maybe your foot. That's definitely a one and done for me. The kind of person that would play that every day is not invited into my world. Well, like, it's gonna be the same thing every time, right? The only thing that's different is you get like a new Wordle. And like, I mean, every time you get a different GeoGuessr, you get a different chess, but like, how about like once a year? Nah, I don't think so. I don't think it's gonna happen. New YouTube link? Yeah, but you could just do 20 on the same day for that. Because it's the YouTube video length is not seated. Once every 2 years? No. Because I'm just gonna tell you no. Because like, you know what I would have done in the past? Is I would have said, sure, once every 2 years. And then 2 years from now, somebody would have come in and said like, hey, it's the 2-year anniversary of when you said you'd play password game again. And me previously thought there was nobody watching the stream that was weird enough to like write that shit down on a remind me. And then I would get irritated. And I'd be like, what are you even talking about? And they'd be like, 2 years ago, you said that you'd play password game today. And I'd be like half tilted. And then people would be like, why are you mad? He's referencing your own content. I'm like, that's why I'm mad. Because his reference is so specific to my own content that the person who originally made it doesn't even get it. They've gone way too far. So no, I'm not going to play it in 1 year. I'm not going to play it in 2 years. I'm not going to play it on a boat. I'm not going to play it with a goat. I'm not going to play it on a train. And I'm not going to play that shit in the rain, okay? We beat it. It's done. We made it through. It was hard as hell. Now we gotta let it mellow. Like a squish. Bro thinks he's Sam. Bro, Sam is the guy offering the green eggs and ham. The other dude is unnamed. It's a mystery that's like, we've been trying to solve for years. How about this? What happens when you sell this dude? You summon a 4/4 level 2. Okay. Remove the 3 nearest friendly perks to summon an 8/8 mole. Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Let me think about this. I'm going to give you one of these. Very interesting. I think Porcupine is pretty good, but Mole is also very interesting. We need to generate 3 perks, though. Like, the only way you can get 3 perks, we gotta, like, buy some eggs for some individuals. They really cooked with this one this week. Because I was thinking, like, maybe you could have a raccoon steal food, but then, like, that's not gonna work with the mole because you need the raccoon to be behind the mole, but it only steals food before attacking. So I think, honestly, I think I'm going to play coward strats here. I think I'm going to buy a porcupine. I think I'm going to sell my chinchilla, which just gives me some extra gold. Then I'm going to sell my marmoset, which gives me a free reroll. I'm going to freeze a flea. Roll once for free. Honestly, I'm content to give the worm a shot here. Hey, Silly Rice Krispie, thanks for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. Roll it once for flea. Have a holly jolly Christmas. Oh my God. Okay, sorry. My kid's been really into Christmas music lately for some reason, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because it's like the middle of July. It's almost as like anti-Christmas as you can get. But you know what? I'm feeding you. Anybody else up feeding the porcupine or just me? That's your fault. It's not really like a big deal. You know, at the end of the day, I'm kind of stoked about it. Because she asked me to sing all these songs. For like a couple of weeks, she's been asking me to sing all these like Stompin' Tom Connors songs. And I just can't bring myself to do it, honestly. So for her to now be like, sing me Jingle Bells, I'm like, that's locked in the cerebellum. I don't think you need a pineapple. I just don't think it's I don't think it's necessary. You're also unnecessary. Little expensive chocolate, like the kind you get from Whole Foods. Dolphins, fine. I would stop you right there. Ketchup loves potatoes. That is damn true. That is, I'd be inclined to say that that is one of the most true things that's ever been said in this chat. I'm getting my ass beat. Sell me, buy me. Everyone relax. So just say, whoa! Okay, yes, yes. Yes. Yeah. This is the ticket right here. Feed my frickin' Frankenstein, you piece. Would you stream if you were a worm? I don't know. I'd probably just like eat dirt or something. I don't know really what worms do. I know they come outside after it rains. I don't really know much else. They what? Dude, that was I loved when I tweeted at Drill, because he said something like they bred the evil out of dogs, and I said humans did what to dogs? I got a lot of like 15-year-olds replying to me that are saying, yeah, dogs didn't just appear on the earth, actually. Humans domesticated them and then used selective breeding to breed out undesirable traits. And then I would just reply, they what out undesirable traits? There's got to be a button on Twitter that I can click that says, please don't show me any more 14-year-olds tweeting about Spider-Man. But I know you're going to say it's the log out button or like the delete account button or whatever. I'm just saying they got to add another button that's like, please don't show me any more tweets from 8th graders about Spider-Man. Does anybody else think it's crazy that Miles Morales isn't getting the respect he deserves relative to the Tom? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, okay? I'm just here to see what's going on with Victor Wembanyama and Britney Spears. I don't know why every tweet is about Spider-Man and Spider-Man's not getting enough respect. You don't need this anymore. It's not enough. You don't need this anymore. It's ass. You need this. And then you got to save tier 1 shop pets. Ooh. I would. I wouldn't. Okay, just, I guess we might as well keep roll. I guess we don't, it doesn't matter if we keep, we should roll. You could get like a good equipment. Unfreeze my lads, please. All right. Everyone is on threads now. I'm not going. You're not, like, I know you might find yourself saying they're gonna get him one day. They're not gonna get me one day. I understand why people are going. Some people, because it's a gold rush. And, you know, being an influencer is largely pretty easy. The idea that you could like go to threads and then tweet your lunch and then, you know, all of a sudden you're like, I have a career now. I get the allure. As someone who's been through that, I already got it. I don't want it again. You can have my space. You can have the limited attention that I would create for myself at threads. It's all for you, okay? But when people are like trying to find the next social media, I'm like, I think you missed the point. The point is that it's all bad because it's all us, man. The only reason it was good for a while is because like we were different. But it changed us, and now there's no going back. At least that's the way I see it. So my personal belief is that this is like the only winning move is not to play sort of situation. But your mileage may vary. Okay, hang on. 3 wins, round 9. You're right, it didn't unfreeze something there. That was weird. You do nothing. Scale me. Salad me. Any lemons in the call? No, maybe we should put a pineapple on the porcupine then. You got me good, Carver. You got me good. 'Tis but a scratch. 'Tis but a scratch. A plague on both your houses. 'Tis but a scratch. You guys, this weekend, did you watch Baz Luhrmann's insane Romeo and Juliet? It's on Canadian Disney Plus. Here's my story of Romeo and Juliet. Okay, read the play in 8th grade. I had a cool teacher, which is fucked up in the 8th grade. Give me a second here, because in 8th grade, it's at least when I was that age, back in the early 2000s, it was not cool to think your teacher's cool. So here's how that shit went out. My cool ass teacher showed us The Princess Bride, and I said, if our teacher likes it, it must be ass. So I was on the wrong side of history on that one. And my teacher, after we read Romeo and Juliet, she was like, I'm supposed to show you like the 1960s Romeo and Juliet or something like that, but instead I want to show you this cool Baz Luhrmann one that came out a few years ago. I watched it and I was like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen because my teacher thinks it's great. Watched it again this weekend. They don't make movies like that anymore, man. The fact that it came out in theaters is insane. It's Romeo and Juliet in Southern California with guns instead of swords, and they don't normalize the dialogue at all. The dialogue is straight out of the play. So you've got Jamie Kennedy, like 19-year-old Jamie Kennedy. Do you bite your thumb at me, sir? Benvolio, if I bite my thumb at thee, is it an actionable offense? Yes. Then I do bite my thumb, sir, but not at thee. Do you bite your thumb at me, sir? It's like, so I saw the clip on Twitter that said they don't make movies like this anymore. And I said, oh shit, this is crazy. And then I watched the whole movie on Disney Plus, and I was like, it's like the Crank 2 high voltage of Shakespeare. It's amazing. What's it called? It's called Romeo plus Juliet. It's the same thing as Tenet for me as well, and the aforementioned Crank. I think that there's problems with the movie, but I think it's just so cool that, like, who cares, is basically my takeaway. Don't kill me. This run could go somewhere. Don't kill me. Buy me? Don't kill me. Ooh, but I can't. But I could. But I can't. But I... Oh, you just kind of suck, honestly. You just kind of suck. I'm going to get you out of here. Holy, what the heck is Honey Badger, man? Adjacent friendly abilities deal 3 extra damage. It's a sniper augmentor. I hate Baz Luhrmann. That's what's crazy is, like, me too. I think the only Baz Luhrmann movie I've seen that I liked is this Romeo and Juliet. And he's fucking killing it with Romeo and Juliet, man. It's really good. You're right, it's insanely overacted. No doubt about that. It's got John Leguizamo in it, also true. John Leguizamo's crazy in it. You gotta love it. I think I've gotten old enough that I actually, like, appreciate Shakespeare's writing instead of just pretending to get an A in English class. Like, while I don't know, maybe I was just enamored with all the gunplay. But while I was watching, I was like, holy shit, everything this dude writes is, like, actually poetry. Turns out maybe people enjoy his work for a reason. Like, nobody's ever like, I'm going to the store, do you need anything? Everything's like, oh, fine purveyor of goods, plucker of stars from the night sky, bringeth down one burning ball of my desire. And then the shopkeeper's like, you know, that'll be $71.30. Oh, plastic rectangle, thou art both a creation of my desire and also the destroyer of it. Shopkeeper's like, come on, dude, get thee to Mantua. You're a tier 2. I'm a queen card. I'm a queen. Sorry, I mean, it's a very erudite stream here. We're interleaving Shakespeare with K-pop. Yeah, I'm familiar with G Idol. You think I don't know queen card? You think I don't know what's going on with 50/50 and their song Cupid and how they're now being canceled in the South Korean media because apparently they tried to get their composer or their producer cut him out of the profits for that song, and now they've been like removed from the zeitgeist or whatever. What did we get? 6? That polar bear team destroyed me. Really? I don't know. That's what my wife told me. They were nominated for a Grammy, too. All I'm going to say is I ate at a Korean restaurant last night, even though, yeah, misshaped bagel. You see them sometimes. They're made by Dempsters. Even though 50/50 has been canceled, Cupid's such a slapper, the restaurant played it 2 times. 2 times. You know what that's like in 45 minutes to hear the same song twice? That's how you know you're dealing with something that's on the level of like a hey ya. Every time we have a long drive, my wife takes the opportunity to teach me something about K-pop. Like, ask me anything about the 4th generation girl groups right now. I know their names. There's, just give me a second. There's New Jeans. There's aespa. There's Les Seraphim. Hang on. I know some of these. He knows New Jeans? I've heard of them at least. There is N-Mix. It's probably not how it's pronounced, but that's how I know it. I'm sort of familiar with it. Who's the prettiest in aespa? Gonna stop you right there, brother. I've never seen any of these artists before in my life. I've only heard them in my car. I must be the only K-pop fan on earth that's never seen a music video where the fucking cameraman is going like shoo, shoo, and then they do like a tung, tung, and at the same time the camera goes like pum, pum. Nah. Uninterested. How do you know if you've never seen it? Because in 2012, I lived in South Korea, and I would like walk through the E-Mart, and every Korean music video was like that. Well, every K-pop video was like that. There were also some ballads on occasion, but that's usually just like a really pretty man singing on like the top of a really big building or something. I will buy you next round. Can I give me my buffs for right now? Why not? I don't even think there's a bison this week, but go crazy. Like Prince. What's the point of singers only groups? I don't even understand the question. Singers only. Singers, is this a question? Like, is this a trivia question? Because I don't know the answer. Singers only groups. Are you bullying acapella groups? I would like to. Is that something we can arrange? Now this time, mole me. Yes. I would like to say that I know this guy's going to be asked for a minute, but just work with me, okay? Oh, perhaps. A plague of both your houses or whatever. Why don't you get out of here? I'll purchase you for now. I think that part of the reason, and I don't expect you to agree with me, but part of the reason that I hate a cappella so much is because at my school you had to listen to the national anthem every day before class. I know, listen, the point of it is not that it's weird. It is weird. But they recognize that like that's a lot to listen to like one song over and over. So they would mix it up and like for months at a time, instead of playing the national anthem, they would play like a cover version by a band called, I think they're called the Nylons. And it goes doo-doo-doo, 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 ba-ba-ba-ba, doo-doo-doo, oh, Canada. And in the background, just the baritones are going doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, Canada, boom. And that was a fucking good day, okay? At some point, they started bringing like a country music Canada, oh Canada version in. I don't know if it was like a CanCon thing where they're like the schools have to play like at least one Canadian song a day, but you would be praying for like the Roseanne Barr national anthem after you hear the Nylons do the acapella version for 6 scholastic years straight. I found it. It slaps. It slaps like the first 150 times. And then you're like, then you just don't want to hear it ever again, man. What's your position in the acapella group? Guy who mostly goes boom, 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 boom. But then like once every few songs, he sings the hook, but in a really deep voice, but nobody thinks that it sounds good. They just think that it's funny. So like after what is the highest male register called? It's not soprano, right? After the fucking Bruno Mars motherfucker sings the hook that everybody starts dancing to, you then have the baritone or bass come in and sing it again, and everyone goes, "You're not the tenor. You're not the tenor. You're singing the hook and you're not the tenor. Get out of here. I see what you tried to do there. Now go back to the back of the group and go boom, 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 boom." You know what I'm talking about. Oh, what a tangled web we weave. I don't know what I'm doing, because like you're a 2-3 that I don't think the mole is that good, man. I'm just gonna say it. How come you're not out of tune? I'm good at singing now, because I have to sing approximately 1 hour a day to placate my daughter. So I'm pretty good at singing now. Apollo said something to me once that really put it into perspective. He said, stop trying to match what the singer sounds like and start trying to match the notes that they were playing. And I was like, finally, some motherfucker explained it to me. Everybody else is just like, sing better. Apollo was like, why are you trying to sound like, you know, Bruno Mars? Why don't you just sing the notes that Bruno Mars sings? I was like, oh, fuck, why didn't I think of that? Makes perfect sense. Instead of laughing at me, he showed me the way. Every day. I hate to do this, but I just think that this makes the most sense for us. I'm floundering. No, I'm cruising. I'm cruising! It was worth. You need another perk? No, because the mole is like, he's toast, man. Don't even worry about him. He's gone. Shut the fuck up about the mole. Don't even, look at this. Don't even worry about him. You didn't freeze the bison? Make up your mind. You want to see cool stuff or you want to see 1,000 bison runs? Don't answer that. We don't negotiate with terrorists. Okay, take this. Take this. July is National Bison Month. Honestly, good for the bison, okay? I had nothing against the animal itself. Just don't want it to define every Super Auto Pets meta that's ever existed, okay? What is today? Could somebody look up what today is? You know what? Let me come out here. Today, July 10th, National Blank Day. Today is National Kitten Day and National Pina Colada Day. Oh, let's see what's coming up on the National Day calendar here. July, start me on the 10th here, please. Chronic Disease Day, International Town Criers Day. I'm going to say that today's National Pina Colada Day. Oh, so I didn't even know I had my screen region still up. Holy cow, I was... Get that out of here. It scared the crap out of me, man. Holy, put Sap back on the screen. That's not Sap! That's not Sap. I was not even recording Sap. Well, I was recording it via desktop mode. Here you go. July 11th. National Cheer Up the Lonely Day. That's a good one. I'll be live tomorrow, by the way. National 7-Eleven Day. What is it? World Population Day? Everything's World Population Day. July 12th, Paper Bag Day. National Different Colored Eyes Day. Eat Your Jell-O Day. Do you have to, is there like a governing body where you have to apply for a day? Or can you just like submit this? Like, okay, July 13th, National Barbershop Music Appreciation Day. So that's like we were just talking about it. That's good happenstance. And also National Beans and Frank Day, also known as a great day to watch There's Something About Mary. July 14th, it's Bastille Day. It's also National Grand Marnier Day and National Tape Measure Day. That's a good one. Let me see if we got a good one here. July 15th, here's one for you. National Toss Away the Could Haves and Should Haves Day. I think we could all use that. What does this even mean? July 17th, National Get Out of the Doghouse Day. I'm going to click on that one. What does it mean? Occasionally, we all need a free pass. National Get Out of the Doghouse Day on the third Monday of July offers the fast track we all need once in a while. Generally, when you're in the doghouse, you've fallen out of favor with someone, usually your spouse. However, you can also be in the doghouse with your friend or with a boss at work. This day uses these cliches to get you back in the big house where you belong. This is 100% invented by a man whose wife got mad at him. And then he was like, you can't be mad anymore. It's National Get Out of the Doghouse Day. This AI-generated shit. Here's some tips to get out of the doghouse. Put down the technology. Meet at a favorite coffee house. When my wife is mad at me, hello, honey, can we meet at a favorite coffee house? National Go to Your Favorite Coffee House Day is coming up. Send flowers, chocolates, or an appropriate gift. How to observe National Get Out of the Doghouse Day. Whoever's in the doghouse, let them out. The day pardons their transgression. However, if you're in the doghouse, any or all of the above suggested tips would be acceptable. Share your best methods for your ability to get out of the doghouse day on social media. Help a person out. Heidi Richards Mooney of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, founded National Get Out of the Doghouse Day in 1999. That's crazy. I'm going to keep that one on the calendar. It's coming up soon, too, so I get in the doghouse for like a couple minutes and then just pop right out. All right, fine. I'll take a bison. Me when I piss my wife off on purpose at 11:59, right before National Get Out of the Doghouse Day starts. Yeah! The meme image of the guy breaking his chains on the cliff with the sunset. Me pissing on my wife. she turns out that she doesn't recognize National Get Out of the Doghouse Day, so now my ass got divorced. No! I think the alpaca's kind of ass now. Did I say pissing on? Sorry, I had it backwards. Get out of the piss house. Mom found Dad. Mom sent Dad to the piss drawer. What's your favorite skibbity toilet video? Can we not do this? What's your problem? OMG skibbity toilet? Apparently skibbity toilet is the new hotness for Gen Alpha. They it's a trending genre of video on YouTube from Source Filmmaker where a head pops out of the toilet and then sings like a variety of songs, one of which I believe is Gangnam Style. Is that true? I hate that shit. I'm just telling you, you can't hate that shit. Because that's the shit that we were watching when we were like 12. It doesn't make any sense to the older generation. But now that we're not 12, you know, you could still walk into like some kind of bar that only sells double IPAs. And if you just started going like badger, 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 like some kid, well, somebody who was a kid in 2004 would come up to you and go like fucking mushroom, mushroom. And then some like really tall guy with a Legend of Zelda Triforce shirt that's green with the yellow Triforce and then khaki shorts would come over and go, snake, snake. Oh, it's a snake. And then like somebody else would come over and go, you know, like to burning it. We'd say, Justin, that's a different video. That's not the right video, Justin. And he'd be like, I'm a cat. I'm a kitty cat. Then I'm dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. What a shot. I gotta give you credit for that one. Get him out of the kitchen? What's the problem? What, you don't like my bags? We're not really cooking in sap this week, I'll tell you that. Well, so far. So far, we're not cooking in sap. These are, I'm just saying, people are talking about kids these days, oh, what the hell are they watching? Skibbity Toilet. We were watching Skibbity Toilet in our own way as kids. Just by any other name would smell as sweet. Okay, I'll take 6. Because I have no choice. I was watching, I'm not reading that because I don't think it's anything bad, but I don't know. How about a cruising auntie? Your aunt when she goes to bottomless brunch? What do you think Gen Beta is going to watch? I have no idea. I don't even know what Gen Alpha is. Is Gen Alpha like my niece? She's 12. Yes. Right now, I love my nieces, okay? I got nothing against them. And keep in mind, they're 12 years old. They have really bad taste in media. They watched... I feel so bad saying this, but it's so true. We went over to their house, I don't know, like 2 months ago. They were watching, of their own free will, they were watching the Jennifer Garner film Yes Day on Netflix about an alternate day where parents are sick of their kids hating them because they say no all the time. So instead, the parents say yes to everything, even the dumbest questions of all time. And the only other person that I've heard say that he watched that movie was Dan. I'm just saying, okay? I'm just throwing that out there. It sounds fun. It's not, you as a parent, you would understand. I know I'm pulling the as a parent card. But when you're 12, you're like, I'm sick of my mom saying no to me. Well, then stop asking to do shit that's gonna like break your clavicle. Like stop asking to like do a cartwheel out of your second story window and shit like that. Or like it's 9 p.m. on a Tuesday. No, we can't go to like Six Flags Cedar Point tonight. Why? This is fucking, it's closed and we don't live in Ohio. Like, of course we can't. It's just a ridiculous question. We need to have like at least a little bit of, at least a few weeks of prep time before we could say, yes, we're going to Cedar Point. I don't know, I'm rolling. We're winning the game in so many ways. Kangaroo this week, huh? Okay, take the fish out. I didn't call Dan dumb. I said, I implied that he has the same taste in media as my 12-year-old niece. But I'm not the one who forced him to watch Yesterday. That's something he's got to reconcile with himself. Like, it's not slander. I'm not saying that Dan loves the same movies that my 12-year-old niece likes. I'm saying that Dan loved a movie that my 12-year-old niece watched. I don't know if she liked it. She's pretty smart, so I have my doubts. When do kids go from having bad taste to good taste? Great question. The more popular you are as a child, the longer it takes. No doubt about that one. Put this on you for a minute. Get owned. Get owned again. Oh no, they got their own porcupine. How does that make sense? So I'm just here to tell you, like, if you're, I would say the time when people start to care more about whether or not the media they're consuming is considered good versus whether or not it just activates their neurons is probably like right around the start of high school. But if you're in 9th grade and like every day after school you're going to your friend's house, and then like every weekend you're going to like, you know, the swimming hole or whatever, your ass is not going to Letterboxd and being like, let me check out what Criterion Collection movies I could watch right now. But if your ass is sitting there like by yourself, like I was, then you cultivate a little bit more of a snobbish bend early. And then in college, I had built that pitchfork media snob within myself. And then I had to kill it because people wanted to hang out. And they're like, stop talking like an idiot. And I was like, oh, so true. Glug, 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 glug. So I don't know when kids normally start to figure it out. I do know I just got a blobfish. But then there's also like an era or an age, I think, where you also kind of like stop caring. And for some people, the age that happens is later than the age when they die. So they just die a snob. Nothing necessarily wrong with that. But definitely I reached a point, it's within the last like 6 or 7 years, I'd say, where I was just like, you don't like the thing that I think is good? That's fine. I don't know, like live your life or get fucked or whatever. Like I don't really, it's just, I you know what, it probably was related to just doing the NLSS for so long and then like spending half of my work week forcing meaningless arguments over like, do you fold your tortillas left to right or right to left? Nowadays, someone's like, tenet sucks. I'm like, fucking go ahead, go off. You ate with that take. I'm out of here. I'm gonna sell you. I'm gonna sell you. I'm gonna double up on sea lions. That's not a sea lion. I'm just gonna make a sandwich because I don't know. Okay. Pill me? No thanks. No thanks. Pill me? Pill me? Oh, okay. Anyway, that's all I got. I don't really have any weekend anecdotes now that I think about it. You piece of junk. Or do I? I thought the story about the whale doing flips in the open ocean was basically as good as it gets. I was proud of myself for that one. How was the picnic? We ended up not taking one. Actually, you know what? So the story, the tweet was inspired by a real story. We were in a different... I don't want to put the business on blast because they were well within their rights to ask this. But we went to a bakery to buy some bread for my wife and my daughter. I was carrying a Coke Zero that I bought at the grocery store because I had the audacity to be thirsty on like a hot July day. I sat down with my daughter at a table while my wife was picking up like 10 buns. And then the worker, maybe the owner, the manager, whatever, like pointed at me and said, "Excuse me, sir, we don't allow outside food and beverages in here." And I was polite. I said, "Okay, no problem." But then I just like opened the door to the bakery and just put the Coke Zero outside, like 6 inches from the door, and then sat back down at the table. And I was like, "Are you happy? Like, I don't know what you think you accomplished with that, but I also don't know what you wanted me to do. Like I'm not gonna come in like it's a coffee shop basically. I'm drinking a Coke Zero. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I can't drink a Coke Zero in here. Let me get a fucking oat milk frappuccino, fucking Earl Grey London Fog with a Nutella cookie. Like that's not what I want. If you sold Coke Zero, then I wouldn't bring in a Coke Zero. I would have said, hey, I'm not going to get one here because we're going to go to the cafe and I'll buy a Coke Zero there. It's just weird. So I know, like I was kind of like looking at her like, what do you want from me? Now my Coke Zero is sitting outside and I'm trying to make sure that like, you know, nobody thinks it's trash, so they don't like pick it up and throw it in the trash and go, some guy littered. And then, you know, they go, it was that white guy inside of the Korean bakery. Get him. And then all of a sudden I'm like, wait. I'm going to drink, it's not trash. I'm going to drink it. It's just like for my own safety, I was trying to babysit the Coke Zero. Yeah, as soon as I left, I went and I picked it up and drank it. Like again, I get that it's like, the rule just doesn't make sense to me. You got to support the bakery? Bro, my wife bought like $18 worth of fucking buns that they probably just took from a Cisco truck or something like that. The size of the shop, she's not baking all that shit there. There's no way they got like 3 employees. They're not baking like 17 different varieties of individual custard-filled buns and shit like that. I'm telling you, there's a Gordon's Food Services truck that pulls up and you take the shit off the back and then you go, ooh, no outside food or drink. Your whole fucking store is outside food and drink. If I can't bring in a Coke Zero, even though you don't sell Coke Zero. Make it make sense. You should have health. But anyway, I have to go back anyway because my kid really likes the buns from there. And so does my wife. So I'm just saying they're well within their rules. Or they're well within their rights. I just, like, I don't know. I disagree with it. It seems a little petty to me, but what do I know? If they start selling Coke Zero, I would happily purchase it at their establishment, though. Yeah. Yeah? Okay. I guess I'm still going Big Porcupine. It's a food safety licensing thing? Can't drink a Coke Zero inside of a cafe in case I get food poisoning in 2 years. I think it was the custard bun my wife bought from the Korea bakery. They don't know what you're bringing inside? Good. It's none of their business, man. I don't get it. They don't know what's in my backpack either, or in my pockets. Like, why complicate things? I'm just here to get some damn bread. We don't need to know each other that well. I'll give you some money and you give me some bread. It's that easy. I think it's crazy, dude. I don't know why I thought business owners are always like, oh, I'm so busy. Then they love doing shit like that doesn't matter at all. So I don't know. I guess I'm just asking for somebody to explain it to me because clearly I don't understand it myself. But I guess bringing in a Coke Zero to a bakery that sells coffee is like, I basically put their business rate in my sights and said, I'm taking this place out. Hey guys, just so you know, put down your hot coffees. There's a beverage on the scene called Coke Zero. It's got 0 fucking calories in it. It tastes delicious and sweet and nothing like what you're drinking at all right now. But just in case you weren't aware, just in case you came to a coffee shop because you thought it was the only liquid that is drinkable on planet Earth, there's another liquid. It's Coke Zero. Instead of coming to this coffee shop where there's like nobody here and no lineup, you could go downstairs to the grocery store, find it in their massive warehouse, walk into the longest line you've ever seen, wait 35 minutes, scan the Coke Zero, walk out and drink it in the parking lot because you're not allowed to bring it in here. It's just a waste of everyone's time, man. This is really what I'm trying to say. Oh. Now we're cooking. Now we are cooking. I don't really want any of that, but go ahead. What if someone came into your chat and was talking about Dan or Mouth's stream? Bro, it happens like every day. It's annoying. All right, maybe I do get it. All right, yeah, actually, that's a great metaphor. It makes perfect sense. But here's the thing. We got to keep the metaphor consistent. What if that person was talking about Dan and Mouth's chat in my chat? That would annoy me. But then if I was like, hey, can you stop talking about other streams during my stream? They would say something like, hey, my wife just bought 5 gifted subscriptions here. I would say, carry on, sir, my apologies. It's actually more like someone spamming another channel's emote in your chat. All right, I don't really know how to feel, but it's getting very complicated. All I know is I wasn't really offended. I was more like, I guess the way I would say it is I was surprised that was the battle she wanted to take with a customer. But that's okay. That's her business, not mine. Like in a literal sense, it's her business. Just admit you're wrong. Brother, I brought a Coke into a cafe. My personal sense, and this is, I'm not saying that you have to be in the same boat, okay? But this is like going to shop for socks at Old Navy, and they're like, hang on. Your ass is wearing H&M clothes in here? Wait a minute, don't you know I'm trying to run an Old Navy? People might see the clothes that you wore into the Old Navy and be like, I want those. Where are they? And I'd have to be like, oh, they're at another store. And then they would leave the Old Navy and they would go to an H&M, and then I wouldn't be able to feed my kids. Hey, the True Slugman, thanks for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. The thing that's also crazy is that after this is true, but after we went to the bakery, we bought the bread. We took the bread to a restaurant in the same plaza and just had our kid eat the bread while my wife and I ate the food from the restaurant because she doesn't like any of the stuff on the Korean restaurant menu because she's 2.5 years old. And it's all really spicy. And the restaurant is A-okay with it. Gnocchi had a med kit. Thank you for the gifted subscriptions, by the way. Thank you. Well, that's a different story. They have to be nice to you because they're getting a tip. Well, there's another thing. Hey, great, thanks for bringing it up. Because at the bakery, after my wife picked up all the buns, they had the audacity on the machine to ask for a tip. She went into the store. She picked up a tray. She picked up all the buns. She brought the buns to the front. The lady just scanned it a little bit. She said, is that worth 15%? Kate said, no, 10. I respect that she went a little harder on it. I'm just saying. Would I have hit 0? Well, they would have kicked me out of the store if it was just me. So, like, I wouldn't have been able to buy anything. But it would have been worth it for the shop owner because then at least I wouldn't have introduced her clientele to the existence of the beverage known as Coke Zero. Hang on, I got to think this one through. I think it's time to get you out here. And I think you've served your purpose. I think it's got to be like this. We need you to level before the polar bear levels. It is what it is. You're tipping shops now? It's crazy, man. Like, it's the... We don't need to go down this road again, but here we go going down this road again. The tip culture has gone far enough that it's going to swing back in the other direction and people are going to stop tipping at places where they should be tipping. Subway's going to ruin it for a nice mom and pop restaurant. You know what? Gorilla's a good freeze. You're right. I should have frozen it last time. Life goes on. Oh, I don't really want to freeze you. I want to give you a melon. I guess I would freeze you. You know what? No, like that. That's the sauce right there. Would you tip your dentist? At this point, I think it's hard to argue against tipping anybody in society because we're tipping for everything. How, you know, as soon as we started tipping for takeout, which I did gleefully because it made me feel morally superior to people who didn't, all of a sudden you get yourself on a slippery slope. Well, I'm like, well, I'm paying, first you're paying people a little extra to bring a plate to your table, refill your water glass. And you're like, okay, if that's the norm that I was born into, so be it. Then all of a sudden, you go to the takeout restaurant, or you pick up your takeout from the restaurant, and you're like, well, they didn't bring me any food, but they still were doing this stuff in the kitchen, so I'm still going to tip, but like a little bit less. Then you go to like a coffee shop, and you're like, I'll have a drip coffee, and they're just handing it to me, which is the same thing that they did on the takeout order, so how could I have like some cognitive resonance if I don't tip at the coffee shop, but I tip at the takeout? And then all of a sudden you're in Subway and you're like, I've never seen Subway ask for a tip before, but they took my sandwich from the start of his life to where it's going to be in my belly. So how can if someone pouring me a drip coffee gets a 10% tip, then at Subway they got to get at least 15. Anyway, I bought beer on Friday, and this is the end of the rant. But it was maybe the first time I've ever been in a situation where I just got asked to tip at like a store. Like I bought some beer, and then when they flipped the thing around, they were like, you don't have to tip, but would you like to tip? And I said, no. This is just a store. Like, no, it's not that I want your business to fail, but it's solved. If you need to make more money, like raise your prices. Don't just... Like if you're a restaurant, I understand. Like the worker because of the fucked up like minimum wage for serving staff, you need to have the way it's set up right now, you need to have a little buffer, okay? But like a store where the owner is like, hey, we could just ask people to pay 10% more just out of the goodness of their heart. No, I resent the request, quite frankly. I'm gonna do this. It's kind of crazy, man. They tried to mole me? Not today. Not today. Not today. Oh, 10-piece. What can I say?